and Deborah for the 50. You guys are awesome. There's also a handful of people that I like to think on Venmo and PayPal. We'll get around to those in a second. Let's just make sure that this guest is in a American adult that supports Trump. Are you MAGA?
Yes, sir. And I am an adult, my friend.
Cringe. So cringe.
Wait, bro, I actually like you. I disagree with you, but I actually like you a lot and I respect you. So at least out the gate, can we try and be chill for a moment? And at least until I do something that makes you hate me. I actually, like I said, disagree, but I really respect you. I do.
Come on. I've been giving like snarky one-line response to everybody the moment they say they support Trump.
Okay, well, I got to be honest with you. I've only seen clips of yours. I've never really watched you. I literally just joined and I'm actually surprised I got in, to be honest with you. So my perception of you is just, I know I disagree with you, but I actually respect your success at such a young age. And I don't say that as a roundabout insult. Like, I'm like, damn, good for this kid, or darn, good for this guy.
Oh, that's cool,
so
man.
I mean that.
Let's see if we can change your mind here. So why is it that you support Trump? Especially considering the fact that yesterday he called for the execution of Democrats, which should be anybody's red line.
Yeah, well, with that particular case, they're saying, hey, you can refuse unlawful orders.
That's
what I'm worried about.
That's what the oath says, by the way.
Yes, and I agree you can, but where it gets a little scary, and just hear me out, please let me finish, is like, it's kind of like with misinformation, when sometimes your side likes to label things as misinformation that's not actually misinformation. So what I'm worried about is them saying an unlawful order when it's actually a lawful order. And I find that to be very scary that they would make that video. So that's kind of how I stand on it. I wish, Donald Trump...
So you're scared of this video that Democrats made, therefore they need to die.
No, I support what he said because it's bad, right? Hold on, bro, chill for a second. And before we go into this one, I want to say that last woman you were talking to, all of the evil men you brought up, who stopped them?
Who stopped them?
Other men.
Right.
Other men. Your point of asking her...
Because positions of leadership were only sequestered to that of men. Maybe if those men never led in the first place because our world was egalitarian from the get-go and we allowed women to be in positions of leadership when qualified, just like we should allow men to be in positions of leadership when qualified, right? We wouldn't have had to start a world war to stop a man from the slaughter and genocide of 12 million people.
So, good sir, I got to tell you honestly, brother, please don't mute me. I'll stop talking every time you talk. I'll let you talk. You don't need to mute me. You muted me when I stopped talking.
You're right. It's almost like a little bit of like a subconscious reaction.
I feel you, but I promise you, I want to actually conversate with you because I am open to my mind changing. And I on my lives, when people come up on your side, typically, if I talk to 300 people, what I do is I defend Charlie Kirk and talk about my, liking Trump over my other choices. And it's actually just them saying vile things to me. And I don't ever mute. And if you go on my YouTube, you'll see them making fun of my 10-year-old cousin in heaven. You'll see them calling for Charlie Kirk's kids to have the same thing happen. And I let them go because I'm here to talk. And if I figure if I can get it out of their system, then we can actually have a combo. So please don't mute me. I'll let you talk. I like hearing opposing opinions. I've changed my mind on quite a lot since I've been into politics.
I'll try my best. Right. But just in response to your last point, you're like, oh, well, men stop the other men, right, from like committing a genocide of 12 million people. Well, I mean, I don't think that you should get a golden star for smearing your own shit on the wall and cleaning it up. And maybe that shit would never been smeared on the wall in the first place if we had an egalitarian world where women had the same ability, socially speaking, to lead compared to women, as compared to men. Now, right, this was a pivot away from the first thing that we're talking about, which was Donald Trump.
Well, on that point, because I got to respond to that real quick.
Well, okay, well, you use that point as a pivot. You could respond to that real quick.
I'm not trying to pivot.
Okay,
fine. We'll talk about whatever you want.
I understand.
Let's go, whatever you want. Go ahead.
Telling us that you didn't try to pivot, but you did.
No, whatever, brother. But so what do you want to talk about? What do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about the first thing that we brought up. So I brought up the fact that yesterday Donald Trump called for the execution of Democrats. Then he responded to that by saying, well, in that video, they said that they can refuse unlawful orders made by the president. And this is like really harmful because what if they call a lawful order an unlawful order? Well, point number one, of course, you're only saying what if, right? Because they didn't call a lawful order an unlawful order. But point number two, there was great reason for these senators to make this video. It's because Donald Trump has been giving unlawful orders to the National Guard and Donald Trump has been infringing on our Constitution. I mean, shit, he literally called for its termination of December in 2022. We should all be raising social awareness around the fact that the military has a right to refuse unlawful orders made by the president. But point number three, even if Donald Trump wasn't attacking the Constitution, such as he is, even if Donald Trump wasn't giving unlawful orders to the National Guard, such as he has, well, then it would still be absolutely so barbaric and tyrannical, right, to reduce yourself down to the position of calling for the death via means of execution and hanging of your political opponents still yet giving you good enough reason to stop supporting Trump as president. So
Right,
just
so
to
again,
kind of
you
like
said a lot.
Yeah, I know I said a lot. So
said-
just to condense the points that I made, right? The video that the senators made absolutely should have been made. And I stand with them. I think that they're patriots for making that video. There's really good reason to do so. But point number two, even if that video shouldn't have been made, right, because of some false suggestion that they should refuse lawful orders, that doesn't mean that the president is justified in calling for their execution via means of hanging.
So it's your world. I'm just living in it. You do what you want. But again, for while I'm up here, if possible, how I like to do my lives is like one bullet point at a time. So it's a really good, concise combo. Like you would agree, you just said like 11 different things, all in jest to one point.
No, I made
you
two
said
points.
a lot.
I made two clear points.
All right, so give me your 2 points, bullet point right there, so I can rebuttal it. No, you said a lot. I'm trying to listen.
Okay,
So,
yeah. So
well, I remember one. Here's the thing.
I'll just clarify. So the 2 points that I gave is point number one: the senators had good reason to make the video they did, and point number two: even if they didn't have good reason to make the video they did, this should still be a red line that you're holding against Trump, since this still gives him no justification to call for the execution via means of hanging of his political opponents.
So we'll have to fact check this one and I'll have to look at it. I'm open to it being wrong. Just hear me out, though. I think his truths about that, he was saying that seditious acts could be punishable by death. He didn't actually say they need to die. So please fact check me on that.
The United States of you need to know. Donald Trump posted this on Truth Social. He responded to a post published by the Washington Examiner titled, "Democratic Veterans in Congress Urge Service Members to Refuse Unspecified Unlawful Orders," by saying that this is really bad and dangerous to our country, and that their words cannot be allowed to stand. He then followed that up with a second post that reads, "This is seditious
punishable by
behavior,
death. Not
punishable
saying they
by
need to
death."
die.
And then
So what he's saying is
reposted a
true.
comment
You're
that-
proving my point.
Hey,
You're proving my point, sir.
Hey, maybe if you stop talking.
Hold
until
on.
the
Let me
video's
talk.
over.
Let me talk real quick. I've just
Well,
let you talk a lot, brother. Let me talk. Hold on.
Do you see the tweet that's on the phone screen right now? That reads, quote unquote, "Hang them."
That's someone
George
else's tweet.
Washington.
He's allowed to retweet that.
Yeah.
His previous tweet
and
isn't
when he-
actually calling for death. But here's the
and when
important
he-
part.
And when he
Hold on,
retweets
sir.
that, it means that he agrees with it.
Sir, this is the important part, my friend, brother. This is the important part.
See, this
National
this is
Guard
one of
going
those-
in there.
This is one of those situations where I'd mute you right now.
Okay. Well, I know your
Could
side
I-
likes
could I-
muting. Your
could I-
side doesn't
could I tell
like to
you
talk.
why? Could I tell you why this is one of the scenarios where
Go ahead, brother, because I keep letting you talk. Go ahead.
Because you're interrupting me.
Well, as far as us talking right now, you said a lot, and I haven't got to say anything. Really,
Well, you asked
right?
me. You asked me for the proof that he was calling for their death, and I was in the middle of giving it to you, and you interrupted me while I was in the middle of giving you the proof.
the tweet you showed said it's punishable by death. Then you showed him retweeting somebody that
hang them.
said George
Yeah.
Washington would. So he's allowed to
said hang
retweet
them.
that. That's not him saying it though.
So that is him agreeing with it.
No, that's
Yeah,
him retweeting what
there-
someone else said.
So there's two possible reasons that you like retweet something. It's either because you agree with it or you think that it's funny. That's pretty
okay.
much it, right? And
That's-
we
so that's
know
your
that
perception.
Donald Trump was agreeing with this person that he retweeted, right? Because prior to that, he said this is punishable by death, and then what he retweeted said hang them.
Yeah, so he's allowed to retweet that.
Okay,
But
well,
I'm just
so
trying
you're
to get this
basically
point out,
saying
though.
that he's
So the-
allowed to tell us that he thinks they should die.
Yeah, because listen, I hate to say it to you, but your side has really shown that they hate America and wants America to fall, right? Through the actions of Joe Biden's administration, right? Through all of the lawfare, through the attempts on Trump, through all of the death threats that all the conservative outlets get. I've been in politics since September 10th, the day they took Charlie Kirk. I'm in it forever now because of what they did. I wasn't even his biggest fan. And so you'll be seeing me a lot, brother. I promise you that as life goes on, me and you will cross paths, I bet. I'll be in here a lot, hopefully. We can actually have a good convo. You come to me where there's no worry of muting or anything like that. But you have to understand that them saying, what? Are you raising your hand? What?
Yeah, because you just absolutely dunked on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You said that Democrats hate America, and then one of the reasons that you gave was death threats. Therefore, Donald Trump hates America for giving death threats to these Democrats that told the military to reject unlawful orders.
You're
and you
construing
can't
it
even
wrong.
deny that this would be a death threat.
No,
since just
let me tell you
prior
what I
to
mean.
that, you conceded.
Let me tell you what I mean.
You conceded that he's allowed to call for their death. Calling for one's
hold on.
death is a
That's not
death
what I
threat.
mean.
Therefore, in accordance with your own logic, Donald Trump hates America.
No, that's not what I mean. What I mean is if they are saying you cannot follow laws if they're unlawful, but it really is a lawful order, that's what I meant, is order, not laws. If it's a lawful order and they don't follow it, it might lead to the death of servicemen. It might lead to the death of civilians, right? And that's a problem.
So in the video that this Washington Examiner article was going over, did the Democrats say, well, you need to not follow orders that we're calling unlawful, but and in all reality are lawful? Or in that video, did they say, you don't need to follow orders that are unlawful?
But based on what they've done with like misinformation as an example, no, hold on, listen, bro, just chill for a second, man. Honestly, chill. You seem like you're genuinely a nice dude and you're out here for the right reason, right? You care about America, right? You care about people.
I thought that you said Democrats hate America.
Well, most do, especially a lot of the ones in power right now. Like, I don't know why they didn't want to release the files when they had power, right? Why did we have to wait till Trump got in? That's one thing. You say, how do I support him still? Because of that.
Okay,
I support him because of the border.
So 2 months ago when he said that a vote for the release of the Epstein files in Congress would be an act of hostility against his administration, Donald Trump hated America?
Well, I'm glad he changed his mind and signed them off the other day.
But before,
what did he do yesterday?
He changed his mind.
Yeah, but
before he changed his mind, did he hate America?
Yeah. Well, before that, he also arrested Jeffrey Epstein, right? His DOJ did that,
Donald
right?
Trump didn't arrest Jeffrey Epstein. His DOJ
did.
Yes,
exactly. So we agree. Thank you for agreeing.
Which they have a legal obligation to do. It is their obligation to
so I'm glad they did that.
Enforcing the law. So once again, I just want to clarify on one specific point with no pivoting from the man-child. You said that you think Democrats hate America.
No need to be rude.
Well, I'm being honest.
I'm being nice to you. Well, There's a lot to work with if I want to make fun of you.
Well, I mean, let's be real, man. When you said that Democrats hate America, you were just being honest, right?
Well, when Joe Biden had a pizza party policy of a border, right? They helped illegal immigrants come here, buddy.
I'm sorry, just going but Joe Biden, illegal immigrants, it's just like old and tired. I want you to respond directly to what I'm saying.
Yes, he is old and tired.
When you said that Democrats hate America, you were just being honest, right?
Well, yeah, their actions prove it.
Right. So when I called you a man baby, I'm just being honest. Your actions prove it. Now, to go back to the question that I was asking you that you didn't respond to.
That's not a good point. You're not making a good point there.
Well, you're not answering my question. So you said
you make a good point.
Well, you're not answering my question.
I expected more from you, brother.
And I expected more from you considering the fact that you're the person that came up into this space, said that I don't know how to hold productive dialogue because I mute my guests. And if I were to join your live, you don't mute your guests because you actually want points to be made. Right. But then when I asked you a question, all that you could do is interrupt, pivot, and deflect. So now I want to prove...
Fake news. You're fake news, Dean. That's fake news, buddy.
Well, you can't say it's fake news that you interrupt me as an interruption. Get cooked, buddy. But now back to the question.
Fake news. I'm talking about the previous one.
But now back to the question that I was asking you that you were so scared to answer. You made the point that Democrats hate files under the Biden-Harris administration. So therefore, I just want to be clear. Before Trump changed his mind 2 months ago, when he was calling it an act of hostility against America to vote for the release of the Epstein files, you do indeed think that at that point in time, Donald Trump hated America. But obviously, he doesn't anymore.
Well, all that matters is that he signed off on them yesterday. You're talking about are you happy? Let me ask you, Dean. Are you happy that they're being released?
Yeah.
Are you happy?
Of course, I'm happy that they're being released. But the reason that Donald Trump changed his mind is nothing.
The House, the House Republicans, because hold on. One thing is really to be clear here, right? We both understand that.
That's fine. I'll cook you after your interruption. Go ahead.
Okay, good. I'm hungry, my friend. But just chill. Like, you're so aggressive and you don't really have a lot to be aggressive about. But
I'm not aggressive. I'm honest.
The House Republicans, the House Republicans, I didn't even hear you. The House Republicans.
I'll repeat myself. I said I'm not aggressive. I'm honest.
Well, you seem aggressive. You seem really worked up, like a chihuahua on steroids, my guy. But listen,
I seem worked up like right now?
Yes.
So then how worked up was Trump when he called a reporter picky?
Well, he has good reason to be worked up.
That's right. So go ahead.
After everything that you guys have tried to do these past couple of years.
Just complete your interruption. That's fine.
Okay, so I can talk?
Yeah. I mean, it's an interruption. Okay. I'll let you interrupt me.
Okay. So you keep interrupting me, so I can't remember what I was going to say. Okay, so the House Republicans on September 10th, 3 hours before we lost the great American hero Charlie Kirk, right? 3 hours prior to that. Why did you laugh about that? By the way, actually, I did see a clip. I need to call you out. I'm pivoting here because this is important for Charlie Kirk. You said to somebody, you go, actually, the correct word for Charlie Kirk would be that he was here. Just so you know, I know you're an atheist, but just so you know, he's with us forever. Souls are real. God is real, whether you know it or not. Heaven is real. So when that kid came up here and was like, Charlie Kirk is, and you had to correct him and say was, just so you know, Dean, he's with us forever. Just so you know. But my point is, the House Republicans on September 10th, 3 hours prior to Charlie Kirk, did a motion to table the Epstein file release, and that stopped it from being released. Then they tried the unanimous consent, and that failed. Then Donald Trump came out and said, no, every Republican needs to vote to release this. We have nothing to hide. Making them all vote yes, releasing it, passing the House, pass the Senate, get to Trump. He signed off on it. So, and you already said you're happy that's happening, right? So you support Trump in that manner, correct?
Yeah, I'm really happy that he signed off on the bill.
Okay, good. Now, I don't remember my original point was when I
can I respond to all that
because
right now?
Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Perfect. The only reason why I signed off on the bill is because it was a losing battle. I think it was the lesser of two evils, right? The reason why he spent months and months fighting against the bill is obviously because he didn't want the bill released. But then once we were able to get a majority in Congress, all right, after he had his own self-described quote unquote puppet Mike Johnson, right, refused to swear in Adelita Grahova that would have made the majority, right, plus the 4 people on the right in which Donald Trump had his White House go to and try to get them to take their names off of the petition to force the vote for the release of the Epstein files in the House, right? He lost that battle. We get a majority on our side after Donald Trump had spent months and months and months fighting against it. And at that point, the White House was like, hey, there's literally nothing more that we could do to prevent the release of the Epstein files. We tried to delay the swearing in of Adelita Grahova. We tried to go to Lauren Boebert and ask her to take her name off that petition. We tried to go to MTG to get her name off that petition. We tried everything that we could do. We are literally out of options. Okay, anything further would be explicit and clear executive overreach. Therefore, because we know that these files, okay, will be voted on and that vote will pass, right? Donald Trump is going to look like a catastrophe if he vetoes the bill. Then it goes back to the House and the Senate and still passes. Therefore, our only viable path forward is to get Donald Trump to say that he supports the release of the bill. Maybe, right, you would have a counter argument against what I'm saying right now if he didn't try to get Lauren Boebert to take her name off of that list. If he didn't call MTD a traitor because she asked him to release the Epstein files. If he didn't call it an act of hostility to vote for the release of the files in Congress. If he didn't say that it was a Democratic hoax faked by Obama. If he didn't say that any Republican that cares about these files is dumb and stupid and is no longer supportive of his. If he didn't say that we just all need to stop focusing on this and Jeffrey Epstein. But because of all those reasons and more, right, it becomes clear that what I'm saying right now, which is the fact the only reason why Donald Trump inevitably endorsed the release of the files and signed that bill into law was because it was the only politically viable path forward.
Yeah, so I feel like everything you just said there didn't really matter because at the end of the day, he signed off on them. They're now coming out. And we're all happy about that, right? I can explain
why it matters.
Okay, please go ahead. Go ahead, Dean. It's your world. Go ahead.
Yeah. So the reason why it matters is because what it demonstrates is the incentive structure that inclined him to support the release of the Epstein files was political viability, right? Not like a genuine desire to want to hold predators accountable. And obviously, Donald Trump wouldn't want to hold predators accountable since he himself is a predator that is boasted about sexually exploiting naked women and naked girls at Miss Teen USA and Miss USA.
Okay, well, the quote that you're talking about, Miss Teen USA, is actually 18 to 28-year-olds, and I actually don't support that quote. That is a true quote, but just to clarify, he's talking 18 to 28-year-olds, and it's over 20 years old on the Howard Stern Show, and I'm not happy about that one. But the Howard Stern Show, the environment matters.
So 18 to 28-year-olds, that would be Miss USA. Teen USA is 15 to 18.
Yeah, the Teen USA quote's not, I looked into that one. No, it's not. He was not talking about a teen pageant with that one. So I mean, if you have a link to play right now, I'd love to see it. But
so in the clip, right, on Howard Stern's radio show, he wasn't talking about any specific beauty pageant contestant because he's done it at all of them, right? And the reason why we know that he's done it at all of them, the reason why know that he has sexually exploited naked girls and naked women is because the girls and the women have spoken up about it. And I just think it's an indefensible argument to deny their testimony because he admitted to what he did, right? Like the problem with this line of thought here, right, is let's just put this in hypothetical real quick. Imagine that like your best friend came to you, right? You know that he was at a party last night and he told you that he raped a woman at that party last night. And then that woman came to you and she said that he raped me at that party last night. Well, that's the way I look at the 4 underage victims that Donald Trump sexually exploited that spoke out to BuzzFeed in 2015 and said that he walked in on them while they're naked. That's the way I look at Miss Arizona in 2001 that spoke in and said that he looked in on me while I was naked. And that's the way I look at Trump when he boasts about those things to Howard Stern on his radio show. But even if everything that I was suggesting right now is full-heartedly wrong and you were right and he only did this to women, I actually don't think that makes it any better. Okay, we should not be supporting somebody as
I agree. I just said I agree.
Sexually exploited women, especially if you, somebody on the right that supports Trump and his policy, thinks that we should be kicking people out of the country for a simple misdemeanor. Therefore, we should definitely be kicking people out of the Oval Office for the sexual exploitation of women and girls.
Okay, so again, said a lot. First off, the illegal immigrants that are doing terrible things to children and stuffing them under their own bed in trash bags after, and all those true stories of a 2-year-old, a 4-year-old that were unalived, their young parents, 27, 29, because of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's pizza party border policies. All right, those are very real. But here's the problem. Even if we gave you, Dean, if we said, okay, Dean's right, Donald Trump, bad man, does all these bad stuff, Joe Biden is exactly the same. So when you put them up against each other and you put me in a position where I have to pick between two bad people, I'm going with the one that does better things for America. It was that simple.
Okay, so assuming that Joe Biden was exactly the same as Donald Trump, which, by the way, is just completely total utter bullshit, well, then the obvious, adequate, and respectful response would be to say is that you don't support either of them. But you're also being intellectually dishonest by suggesting that it ultimately came down to Joe Biden and Donald Trump. We all have brains. We were all alive last November, and we all remember the two names on the ballots being Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. Okay,
and you don't
how
even
did it
end up being Kamala?
You don't even have,
enlighten me.
You don't
enlighten me.
You don't even have as much as a parking ticket on Kamala Harris. And before you attempt to pivot and deflect into asking me how it became
fake
Kamala
news.
Harris,
There's a lot wrong with her. Fake news. Excuse me.
Hey, can you stop interrupting me? I understand.
Excuse me.
I understand that when people start.
Go ahead. I'll let you. Excuse me. Go ahead. I'll let you. Go ahead.
I understand that when people start losing debates, they like to perpetually interrupt and act like man-children. I'm going to ask you to try to keep that one to yourself. I'm here for productive linear dialogue. I'm here to educate you and the masses, and if you can't handle it, feel free to run away. But quite frankly, for as long as you're on this live, let's try to hold some decorum, and let's try to have that productive linear dialogue. But now back to what I was saying, because you don't even have as much as a parking ticket on Kamala. Perpetually interrupt you and the try to have that productive linear dialogue. But ultimately, the decision in November came down to her and Donald Trump. How could you possibly argue voting for the adjudicated rapist over herself?
I got you.
How could you possibly argue voting for the guy that was best buddies with Epstein, knew exactly what he's doing per an email that Epstein sent to Ghislaine Maxwell in 2011 over himself? How could you possibly argue that you support the guy that was sexualizing 10-year-olds over herself? How could you possibly argue the guy that was sending Jeffrey Epstein letters depicting the naked body of a woman with the statement, "May every new day be another wonderful secret," over herself? How could you possibly argue selecting the guy that tried to coup this country, rig the outcome of the 2020 election by installing fake votes for himself in Congress over herself? The guy that has infringed on the Constitution 5 times in the last 10 months, including but not limited to the First Amendment, the Second Amendment, the 10th, the 14th, and the 22nd Amendment over herself. But at its core, what I really want to stay focused on is the fact that
you said a lot. I'm going to rebuttal it all.
Kamala Harris is guilty of sins equal to Donald Trump sexually exploiting naked women and naked girls at Miss Teen USA and Miss USA by unconsensually barging into their private women-only dressing room to look at them while they were naked.
17 things. Now I got to interject, and you can mute me and kick me if you want because you're scared, but you said 17 things. First off, as far as Epstein goes, his DOJ arrested him, as we said. His last flight with Epstein was 1997. Epstein bought his island 1998, so that helps his defense. 2014, a lawyer that was representing over 70 victims of Epstein called a whole bunch of people. Donald Trump is the only person that picked up the phone and gave him a whole bunch of information. That's facts. I have the links for anybody that wants to check it out. You brought up the letter, the birthday letter. That letter's not true. He's suing those people. Those people want to settle it out of court, which is a pretty damning thing if you ask me. But he said, nope, we're going to court. So that letter's fake news, the fakest letter I've ever seen. All the emails that came out about Epstein recently when they raided his estate proved Trump's innocence and how much that Epstein hated him. So anybody watching, don't listen to Dean, don't listen to me, do your own research, but those emails actually really defend Donald Trump. So I don't know what Dean's trying to say, a little bit of fake news if you ask me. As far as Kamala Harris goes, maybe morally, although I do think she's a bad person, morally she hasn't been caught doing too much that's morally bad. However, I find her disastrous job on protecting our national security when she was in charge of the border, I don't appreciate that. All of the innocent men and more importantly, women and children, Dean, and I can see it in your eyes. I don't feel like your side ever really cares, but those innocent ones that I mentioned before, like single mom Rachel stuffed in a drain pipe when they were done with her, right? The 5 illegal immigrants that kidnapped a 14-year-old girl and did things we can't even say on this. The 20 illegal immigrants that tried to board a school bus twice in one day. That's why I did not vote for Kamala, okay? Border. Lots of other reasons, but the border encompasses everything because if we don't have protection, right, from enemy nations and we're letting them come in here and not just letting them come in here, practically inviting them to come over here, that's a giant problem. Simple and plain.
Well, thank you so much. I'm going to go and respond to all that misinformation. So first of all, you try to argue that you care about the violent crime and sexual exploitation, sexual violence more so, that has been committed at the hands of undocumented immigrants. I agree that we should all care about sexual violence. I agree that we should all care about violent crime, but I think that you're a hypocrite for only caring about said sexual violence and violent crime when it's committed at the hand of an undocumented immigrant. But as soon as it's committed at the hand of a billionaire white man, you want to make him president of the most powerful country on the face of planet Earth. Then to move on to your second point, when you said that the Murdoch family wants to settle outside of court with Donald Trump as it relates to that birthday letter, you've absolutely no fact, no source, no evidence to justify that that is true. You only have the word of mouth of man that was confirmed on record as lying over 30,000 times in his first term, telling the biggest lie that any sitting president has ever told with his denial of the outcome of the 2020 election. In fact, you told the viewers of this live to not believe me, not believe you, but to rather to go and do their own research. If everybody watching the stream right now were to go and do their own research to try to find any proven evidence to suggest that the Murdoch family wants to settle outside of court with Trump over that letter that they posted in a Wall Street Journal article, you will find no evidence. So thank you so much for actually debunking yourself in a virtue signal to make yourself look smart. Now, to move on, still talking about that birthday letter, well, explain to me how that's defamatory. Explain to me how that's fake news if that letter was inevitably released by a House subcommittee. Like, motherfucker. Like, the claim that that letter was fake, the claim that that letter was defamatory by nature, was full-heartedly refuted when Congress fucking released it. We have the letter. It wasn't given to us by the Murdoch family. It wasn't given to us by the Wall Street Journal. It was given to us by your duly elected representatives, motherfucker. Now, to go back to the first thing that you said.
First off, simmer down. You wouldn't talk this way if we were face to face, and that's not a threat, but chill out. I'm being nice to you. You said a lot in the time we've been talking, young man, and you don't deserve the respect I'm giving you. So simmer down.
I would say this to your face, and I've said it to many faces in the past. Obviously, you don't know who I am.
Really wouldn't.
Obviously, you've never seen it in my life.
Bubba, you're right. I said I don't watch your live.
So point number one.
Simmer down, young man.
Well, it makes sense.
Simmer down.
So if you've never watched my live before, if you've never engaged in any of my content, then you probably don't know this about me. But guess what? I give the same passion and energy to people in person to their fucking face that I give online, because I don't think that you're a threat. I think that you're a puny little man baby with no spine.
No, I would never hurt you. I'm not.
Lacks enough brain cells to be able to vote for an
I'm
adequate,
not you.
to be able to vote for an adequate, like duly elected representative to run this country as a president, and also to throw a proper punch. So I'm not too scared of you, buddy. But I quite frankly find it like barbarically embarrassing for you to respond to all the facts that I laid out in proving your argument wrong about undocumented immigrants and your own hypocrisy, and proving your argument wrong about the birthday letter released by the Wall Street Journal, then reaffirmed by our Congress, about proving your argument wrong that there's no evidence to demonstrate that the Murdoch family wanted to settle outside of court with Donald Trump, with like this, with this suggestible response that I want to talk to you like this in person. I think that men have a problem with their ego. Am I a victim of this at some points myself? Abso-fucking-lutely. I'd be a hypocrite to deny that. But do I think that you're being a victim of that right now? Abso-fucking-lutely. And I think that you'd be a hypocrite to deny that. Instead of engaging in a conversation with me on the basis of fact, on the basis of reason, on the basis of counter-argumentation to the perfect positions that I'm using to either refute what you're telling us or to tell you why you're wrong, right? You're rather continuing to engage in this line of elementary school, like emotionally immature and intellectually unstable conversation of responding to my positions by saying, I want to talk to you like this in your face. So how about you breathe? How about you take a deep breath? How about you step back and go sit in the corner for 10 seconds if you need it? Suck on your thumb. Fuck, I don't care what you do. As long as you're able to come back from your little break to being able to engage in a productive linear dialogue with myself, we'll call it good.
Yeah, so for real, man, like, first off, when I say you wouldn't say this face to face, I'm not threatening you. I would never fight you. It's not worth it. I have too much to live for, dude. Like, it's not worth fighting you, but you're not threatening when you act like you are. When you start to swear and scream, that makes you seem like an elementary child, okay? That makes you lose in the argument. If you start doing what you're doing, which you are, you know, talking fast, screaming, going like this, like I'm tough, like doing stuff like that, dude, you seem really weak and you don't represent your side well. And actually, I now get it. Whenever I have people from your side come up on my lives, they're emulating you. I didn't realize that, but they're young leader. So young man, you're not representing your side well. You're not tough, okay? You're far from a man. But I actually am coagulating.
I hope that my passion...
No, hold on. Listen.
I hope that my passion isn't threatening because I want it to be inspiring. Okay? I don't want to be threatening. I'm happy that you affirm that I'm not. I want to be inspired. I want to inspire critical thought. I want to inspire genuine dialogue. And I want it to inspire a push to more Americans being on the right side of history. And then insofar as your second point there, I'm not representing my side well. Well, if I truly was not representing my side well, then you'd probably have a counter argument to anything that I've said. Instead, you've decided to divulge into meta conversations surrounding your thoughts on myself instead of refuting the positions I've granted. So for however long,
good sir.
For however
Good sir.
long you consciously decide to continue to engage in this line of dialogue that does not involve giving counter arguments to the position which I'm granting to you, it is only reaffirming that I am representing my side well. And if you truly believe in your hardest of heart that I am not
Yes, sir.
representing my side well, then try actually responding to the arguments that I'm giving for my side and against yours. And I want everybody watching this live right now to really pick up on this, because I'm being dead serious right here. Okay? For as long as he continues down this path of saying, Dean, you're not a real man, Dean, you're weak, Dean, you're aggressive, Dean, you're not representing your side well, this is all meta conversation to distract away from the fact that he gave his reasons why he supports Trump, and I gave my reasons why he's wrong, and he doesn't know what to say in response. So how about, instead of being a man baby, you actually try to respond to the arguments that I gave you against your position that the Murdoch family wants to settle outside of court with Trump, respond to the argument that I gave you about Congress releasing the real letter affirming that the Wall Street Journal's reporting was true. Respond to my point of hypocrisy that I was able to prove to be true of yourself, because you act like you care about violent crime and sexual violence when perpetuated at the hand of undocumented immigrants, but not when it's perpetuated at the hand of billionaire white men. Or insofar as why you do think that an adjudicated rapist, 34-count felon, proven fraudster that tried to coup this country, rig the outcome of an election, infringe on the Constitution, is somehow the lesser of two evils when compared to a woman.
Absolutely. I got you, brother. I got you. Yes, sir. And I appreciate you changing your tone after I told you to. I appreciate that. So I can rebuttal as long as you don't mute me. You keep muting me. So I keep trying to rebuttal, but you keep muting. Look at you. You're interrupting. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Hold on. Excuse me. King.
I don't think that you told me to change my tone. I'm changing my tone willingly because I want to work with what I got. Okay? If I need to fit inside of some box, right, that you set forth because you think liberals should be robots, I will do it to achieve the end goal of you inevitably changing your mind to be on the right side of history. And if you don't want to be muted, if you don't want to be interrupted, then don't make like shitty, snarky one-line comments about me or my character. For every shitty, snarky one-line comment that you make about me or my character, chances are I'll likely interrupt you and correct your bitch ass. But go ahead.
Very unmanly to keep muting. Very unmanly. Very unmanly.
Wait, so you're saying
Look at his long hair, very unmanly.
So you're saying that.
So listen,
so I just want to clarify. You're saying
I keep trying to talk.
Well,
Look it, and talk over me again.
Well, yeah, you made another snarky little like bitchy one-liner. So you're saying that it's now very unmanly to like interrupt you. So you're saying that being a man is something other than possessing a penis, but rather associated with social roles, behavior inside of society. All right. Well, that's pretty progressive of you. Go ahead.
I don't know, buddy. I think you're falling apart a little bit. I don't want to lie to you. So after your Hamlet-sized monologue of talking for 40 freaking minutes after you keep muting me, what do you even want me to rebuttal? I mean, I said what I said, and you said a whole bunch that did not refute what I said, right? What I said still stands. And now guess what? On my playback, when I rewatch this and show it on my channel and I can actually speak without being muted, I can refute everything that you said. But you said 90 things. So give me what you want me to talk about now, because you said 90 things. Like, I can't even remember. I was just focused on like how crazy you were seeming. So
sure.
What's your point at this point?
Yeah. Well, we'll start with this one.
And by the way, I came in here liking you. I don't hate you or nothing, but you lost a lot of respect. Like I thought, like for when you talked against Nick Fuentes, right? I don't even like Nick Fuentes, right? But I would obviously agree with him more than you. And I thought you won that, right? Because you handled yourself good and he went crazy. But the way you're going right now, you're not handling yourself well. You're not representing your side well. You might think you are, but that's okay. But please, let's stick politics. I want to have a good convo. What is it?
You're huffing that copium.
I don't even know what copium is, to be honest with you.
Well, it's what you're huffing right now.
I don't even know what that is.
Well, it's what you're huffing right now.
Okay.
Stop whining. It's embarrassing.
I don't know what copium is, my guy.
You don't know. What I'm saying that you're coping, right? You're like trying to make up for the fact that you're
making it funny.
My character.
I'm sorry. I'm an adult, bro. I'm sorry. I didn't get that one. My bad. Let's just go here. Back to Epstein. So listen.
Oh, well, you asked me what point I wanted you to respond to. I'll give you one.
Yeah, what's up? Tell me.
So you said that birthday letter was complete hogwash. You just said there was misinformation.
Yes.
It was attacking Donald Trump's character. And then you followed that up by suggesting that the Murdoch family wanted to settle outside of court with Trump. So the only evidence I could find.
And they do.
The only evidence I could find of that claim was the fact that Donald Trump said it himself. And I'd say that he's a pretty unreliable narrator, considering the fact that he lied over 30,000 confirmed times in his first term. And he's continued to tell the largest lie that any sitting president has ever told.
So we agree to disagree there because I think he's a reliable source. No, let me talk, brother. Let me talk.
Not when it's an interruption. Not when it's an interruption.
Well, you interrupted me, young man, and then you tried to talk all calm like this, like you're chill, and you did actually change your tone because I called you out on it, and you realized you were wrong.
How about we just
so hold on. How about you just chill for a second and let me actually talk? Because you keep interrupting me. So can I actually say some words? Because I want to bring up E. Jean Carroll. You brought up E. Jean Carroll. You called my man a rapist. I am breathing. Listen.
Can I ask you to breathe?
I'm breathing just fine. I think you should take your own advice, and you're going to mute me, aren't you? Go ahead and mute me for the 90th time. No, I'm going to keep talking because you kept talking, so now it's my turn. So E. Jean Carroll was lawfare. They rewrote the law for that one.
Sir, you're crashing out. Okay? I want to explain to you something about the nature of discourse. The nature of discourse between two people requires a discussion of one point at a time through a tracking linear dialogue in order for any level of productivity to be present. So when I'm asking you to respond to the rebuttal that I gave against your argument that that letter was bullshit, and then you interrupt me, knowingly, by the way, to talk about E. Jean Carroll, point number one, you're telling me that you're scared. Point number two, you're telling me that you have no counter argument. And point number three, you're telling me that I'm pressing the fuck out of you. So maybe the reason that you've quote unquote lost some respect for me in the time that you've been up here is because while you've been up here, I've been hurting your shitty little ego. And you've never been checked like you are being right now. And thoughts
fake
on
news,
that? Super duper
fake
quickly.
news, bubba.
Being wrong is not the end point. Being wrong is not something that you should be afraid of. Being wrong is a point where you then get to explore all the available opportunities of how can you be right. But once again, what I want you to respond to, I'm going to have to repeat it because you interrupted me, started screaming fake news, whatever, I don't know. 30 brain cells would be the fact that we know the letter that the Wall Street Journal reported on is not fake because it was released by Congress. And Congress got it from the Epstein estate, and the Epstein estate got it from a birthday book signed and sealed to Jeffrey Epstein in 2003. So point number one, in order for that letter to be fake, okay, this would mean that Congress would have had to release a fake letter. And this would mean that the Epstein estate would have had to surgically implant this fake letter in this birthday binder in 2003,
They've done it before,
knowing that Donald Trump would run for president, right, 12 years in the future. And they'd also have to implant a bunch of other fake letters inside of that same binder, incriminating many other individuals, right? If you're winning, then you want to be interrupting. In which they would then inevitably
speak for yourself.
So the reason why we know that letter is not
little
fake,
Mrs. Mute.
Okay. I don't think that you're here for productive dialogue.
Be scared. It's fine. I already know I won. I'm trying to talk. See, you're now taking my advice. That's how I came in here. I said, let's actually talk. You seem like a good person that actually wants to talk. But
if you're winning the debate, then why aren't you listening to my points?
Well, because you're not letting me say my points. You're not listening to my points, young man.
Okay, so you're
trying to speak, but you keep muting me and you keep talking over me and cutting me off. You've talked a lot more. It's on film. It's all recorded.
So how about this? I'll let you say whatever the hell you want so you could get it out, and then I'm going to finish that point so you could respond.
Yeah, sounds good.
Good boy.
So as far as the letter, listen, young lady, look at how aggressive you are, and I'm still being super nice to you, and I don't have to be, but so you're welcome for that, my sweet little angel. But I already rebutted the letter, and what I said stands. Now, you brought up E. Jean Carroll. They literally rewrote the law.
Cope! Dude, I'm sorry. I got to interject on this one. What you said doesn't stand for the reasons that I gave. You could continue to cope, whine, and seethe and argue that it does stand, but that basically reduces your argument down to nuh-uh. If your argument stood, then you'd be engaging with the counterpositions that I gave to it. If your argument stood, then you'd be able to explain why Congress released that same letter months later. If your argument stood, then you'd be able to give me evidence that the Murdoch family wants to settle outside of the courtroom with Donald J. Trump, right? With any evidence outside of Donald J. Trump's own word of mouth. If your argument stood, then you'd be able to explain how the Epstein estate somehow surgically implanted this fake letter into this birthday book in 2003, knowing that Donald Trump would run for president 12 years in the future. If your argument stood, you'd be able to respond to all of these facts, but we know that your argument doesn't stand because you can't respond to any of these facts since you only want to talk about E. Jean Carroll. So what I want every single person watching this live to do, right or left, keep in mind if you're on on the right, sometimes it's good to bully your own, is to laugh in this guy's face if he responds to any of these positions by pivoting and deflecting by calling me young lady. If he responds to any of these positions by merely saying nuh-uh. If he responds to any of these positions by wanting to talk about Eugene Carroll. If he responds to any of these positions by saying I've already refuted them. If he responds to any of these positions by giving anything other than a response to these positions. I am now going to let you speak uninterrupted with my mic on mute. And if you start yapping about getting muted, if you start yapping about getting interrupted, if you start yapping about how I'm aggressive, passionate, representing my side bad, and a young lady about Eugene Carroll or anything other than directly responding to the 4 concise and complete points that I gave you to utterly destroy your argument surrounding that birthday letter, we are all going to laugh at you together, and it is going to be the most satisfying thing that we've done today yet on our live. Go ahead.
Well, you said that before you went on that giant rant. You just said that, then went on that giant rant. So let's see if you can hold that true, my friend. Let's see, because you were fake news a moment ago. Let's see if you can actually do it. You interjected immediately. You lasted 3 seconds. You last 3 seconds in a lot of things, don't you, young man? But listen, as far as that letter goes, you don't get too mad, but what I said still stands, right? They wanted to settle it outside of court. That's just the truth. Now, I think Trump's a reliable source. You don't think so, but I do. 80 million Americans agree with me that he's a pretty reliable source. It's just how I feel. I'm allowed to feel that way. You said, oh, they would have had to have planted that letter in 2003 and blah, blah, blah. Well, just like when they raided Mar-a-Lago and planted stuff, they planted that. Simple as that. Anything else? I would love to talk about Eugene Carroll, but you said we can't, and it's your world. We're just living in it. So you talk to me.
Yeah, you silly goose. It wasn't from Mar-a-Lago. It was from the Epstein estate.
I'm not talking about that. You're still worked up.
That's where Congress got the letter from.
I'm not saying that, Dean. Hold on. I'm not saying that. Buddy, you're so worked up. That's not what I'm saying.
Oh my God.
That's not what I'm saying.
And then on top of that, you're saying that Donald Trump is reliable. Let's go and test that real quick. Okay, so let's just take a look at a handful of the things that Donald Trump has said.
That's not what I'm saying.
And let's test them for the validity. Something else that Donald Trump has said is that he won the 2020 election. Is that true?
Listen, you're embarrassing. Hold on. That's not what I said. I'm not
saying that. You
misheard me. Listen, Dean, take a deep breath.
Respond to my question. Donald Trump said that he won the 2020 election. If he's a reliable source, that must be true too, right? Don't pivot.
Listen, hold on. You're pivoting. You just said, this is you. I'm being honest. This is you. You went, ha, 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 like Chucky, right? And said, it's not even from Mar-a-Lago. It's from the Jeffrey Epstein estate. Yes, I agree. I was using the example of years ago when they raided Mar-a-Lago and planted evidence. That's what I'm saying. Do you understand my point now?
Yeah, so you just poorly worded.
I'm saying.
So you just poorly worded your statement.
Now, what else did you just bring up?
So you just poorly worded your statement. Thank you for clarifying. But once again, you're arguing that you think that
you misinterpreted because you're worked up and emotional. You're emotional.
Okay, well, I disagree. But anyway, so you said that Donald Trump was a reliable standard of evidence. Answer my question now. Does this mean when he says that he won the 2020 election, that is reliably true?
So TikTok bans us for talking about that, but the truth is there's so much evidence that was stolen, absolutely stolen. Irrefutable. 2,000 years proved it. I have the links, absolutely proven. You think that Joe Biden having 17... Dean, listen.
You're silly. Wait, so I have a question, right? If there's enough evidence to prove this crazy claim, then how come all 63 handpicked courts that Donald Trump went to all disagreed and told him that he didn't even have enough evidence to stand trial, including 34 handpicked courts with Republican-appointed judges and 17 handpicked courts with judges that he himself appointed? He went 63 for 0 on this bullshit. Keep in mind that the evidence that he took to those courts were from an electoral integrity committee that he funded millions of dollars to find absolutely any evidence of widespread voter fraud, and they couldn't find nothing. And on top of that, right, outside of the efforts, right, pushed for by him, his money, and his administration, right, the millions of Trump supporters that bought the big lie, right, also tried to find any evidence, and the culmination of those efforts were found in the 2000 Mules documentary. But then the people that made the 2000 Mules documentary admitted in court, under deposition, that they had no evidence for any of the claims that they were making. This election is the safest election in audited election history. It has been seen in courts in the local level, in the state level, on the federal level. The only widespread attempt to rig the outcome of the 2020 election was Donald Trump and his fake electors plot, where he installed fake votes for himself in Congress, right? And then admitted to it in front of Congress and admitted to it in front of the Supreme Court by, I don't need a deep breath. I'm going to cook you with that one. And then admitted to it to the Supreme Court by straight up telling them that, yeah, he sent these alternate slates of electorates to the 7 key swing states that Biden had won, right? And he sent them with fake votes for himself. And then, yeah, he did try to pressure Mike Pence into certifying them as real. Yeah, he did try to rig the outcome of the election, but he shouldn't be prosecuted criminally for such because for whatever reason, he has presidential immunity.
You're really representing yourself really bad, by the way. Like, a lot of respect has been lost. And guess what? I'm in this forever because of Charlie Kirk. So get used to my face. You'll see me a lot, Bubba.
The only person that thinks I'm not representing myself well is you, because you're losing the debate in your butt. Go ahead.
Fake news. Keep muting me, you scared little girl. Keep muting me. It's actually embarrassing. I would have thought.
Okay, since you asked.
I honestly, like, I was gassing you up
wine,
a lot
wine,
more. I thought you were very mature, but.
Cope, wine, and seethe. Quite frankly, sir, you're acting like a toddler.
You're fake news and you're embarrassing yourself. I won't lie to you. But
projection.
Let me ask you something.
Can we get some L projections in the chat?
Hold on, you're going to have to mute me. I'm going to keep talking. Do you think...
Don't worry, I will. Can we get some L projections in the chat for the coping little man, baby?
Yeah, give an American flag in the chat. Hey, give me an American flag in the chat if you like me, like Charlie, like Trump. American flag in the chat.
The American flag that you don't stand for, since
it's
Trump
like the cross to him. The American flag is like the cross to demons.
Would you consider
let's
yourself...
get Dean seen some American flag.
Would you consider yourself to be a patriot?
No, little girl, listen.
Would you consider yourself to be a patriot? Because if you would consider yourself to be a patriot...
I have a question for you.
Okay, completely irrelevant to anything I
do you think that it's suspect? Listen, this is all facts. I have a question for you. Do you think on Twitter, on the days of the 2020 election, Joe Biden had 17.4 million followers? Donald Trump had 80.8. Twitter at the time banned Donald Trump, deleted him, it hated him, it silenced him. Do you think it's a little bit suspect that he had 80 million followers on that app and Joe Biden had 17.4 and they both got 80 million votes? Do you think it's a little bit suspect? Honestly, be honest.
Do you think that social media dictates the outcome of an election, including electoral bases of old people that don't even have social media?
I think that if it's an app that unjustifiably banned him and tried to lie about what he was saying, just like CBS is getting sued right now for the speech and cutting it up and all that, I think the fact that he had 80 million followers on the app that hated him, I think that's a little telling, buddy. I don't want to lie to you.
But
I don't want to lie.
You're getting flustered. It's not CBS that's getting sued. It's the BBC. Also, I think it's funny that your evidence that he won
well, whatever the news is that
I think it's funny, right, that your evidence that he won the 2020 election and it was all rigged was like follower count on social media. Wow! Nobody's ever thought of this before.
That's not it.
You're a goddamn visionary, sir. Listen, you got it. You're a goddamn visionary. You're right. I can't. You're right. You're right. I can't win a conversation when you're interrupting me.
You can't have a conversation. You can't do it. That's not how a conversation works.
I can't have a conversation when you're interrupting me, man-child.
No, you keep interrupting me, you man-child. It's been 41 minutes. Yeah, nice wrist right there. Nice and limp. I knew it. I saw through you. But listen, you can't have a conversation.
I have limp wrists. You have limp brain.
You keep screaming. You keep swearing, right? I'm trying to talk. I'm trying to have a nice conversation. You are in control right here. You get to mute, right? And you keep doing it, right? It's on camera.
The only thing that's on camera is your total and ultimate destruction.
Well, that's fake news.
Quiet, Piggy.
You're going to have to agree to disagree there.
Quiet, Piggy.
Hey, do you like that Trump helped stop 7 conflicts? Do you like that he helped do that?
Which ones? What are the
Cambodia, 7? Thailand's a pretty big one.
Okay. What are the other 6?
Well, I know all the other ones. Do you know them?
No, I
know them.
No, I don't. What are they?
I do know them.
Educate me.
Okay, well, look them up. I know them.
Wait. So tell me.
Rwanda, Iran.
Wait 1 second. Rwanda's not a country.
Well, I pronounced it wrong, but you know what I'm talking about, right?
No, I don't. Rwanda? Do you mean Rwanda?
I just said I pronounced it wrong.
So what conflict? You know what conflict did he end in Rwanda?
I believe. Now listen, there's so much info. First off, this is your point. Your point is. Tell me all of them. If you can't, no, I'm not deflecting. You're not in charge here, Dean. You're not in control, young man. You're 21. How old are you? 21. You're not in control, buddy.
21 and frying your ass. Okay, what was the conflict that he ended?
Fake news. Fake news. One of us is losing here.
Crash out you because you can't. You're losing because you just made the claim that he ended a conflict in Rwanda, but you can't even tell me what the conflict was.
Because you keep muting and crashing out.
You can't tell me what the conflict was. You can't base your point. Back up your point. Tell me what conflict did he end in Rwanda. Back up your point. Do it.
I can.
Do it.
I can.
Do it.
I can.
Do it.
I can.
Do it. Then fucking stop wasting time and do it.
But here's the point. Here's the point. Your point is you go. Name the 7 conflicts as if somebody else in this position wasn't me and couldn't name them, right? that as if what, they don't exist? Is that your point?
Well, it means you don't have any evidence for your point. Now name the conflict that he ended in Rwanda.
That's not true because Dean, young man, here's the problem.
No.
There's a lot of young man.
No. Name the conflict that he ended in Rwanda. At this point in time, I'm not going to let you squirm. I'm not going to let you pivot. I'm not going to let you deflect. I need you to name the conflict.
I bet you know all about squirming.
Rwanda.
I bet you know all about squirming.
Yeah, because I talk to people like you all day. So of course I know all about it. Now name the conflict.
News.
Stop deflecting. Name the conflict that he ended in Rwanda.
I'm not deflecting.
You are.
But here's the problem.
If you do anything but name the conflict that he ended in Rwanda, I'm going to mute you. Because that's the claim that you
wouldn't
made,
be anything
and that's what I'm
different than
asking
what
you
you're
for
already
evidence for.
doing. This wouldn't be anything different than what you've been doing the entire. I'm gonna keep mute.
First mute. Name the conflict he ended in Rwanda, like you said.
I'm gonna mute you like I've been for 40 minutes. That's what you just said to me.
Name the conflict. Right. Name the conflict that he ended in Rwanda. Just do it. I don't believe you can.
I don't believe you can. You can't talk about it. You don't know. I know it.
Then tell us.
By the way, you brought up boxing and throwing hands. Least superior form of martial arts, my guy. I don't want to lie to you.
Pivot.
No, not a pivot. Listen, your thought process is if somebody else wasn't me and they couldn't name.
No. Name the conflict he ended in Rwanda. Tell us about it.
You're so weak. You're so mentally weak that you have to keep muting.
I told you I'd mute you when you pivot. It's just me upholding
you're
boundaries.
Weak. You're weak.
Can you name the conflict he ended in Rwanda?
I can.
Then do it.
I can.
Then do it.
I want to see you do it. You can't talk about this. You don't know about it. You don't know about it. You're not Dean. Dean, you're muted. Dean, you're muted. Dean, you're muted. You can't talk about it. You can't talk.
How about this? I'll state the first 50% of the conflict, then you fill in the rest, okay?
Well, Dean, this is what you don't understand, man. Listen.
No. Take me up on that. Take me up on that.
No, hold on.
Take me up on that. I'll state the first 50% of the conflict, then you in the rest, okay?
Dean, this is what you don't. Let me talk. Come on.
No. Name the conflict that he ended in Rwanda.
All you want, buddy. It's not a good look. Listen, this is what you don't understand.
What's not a good look is the fact that you made the claim that Donald Trump ended a conflict in Rwanda, and when I'm asking you for evidence for it, you literally can't give me any. All that listen, sir, I don't know if this is your first time literally ever being on a debate live in your fucking life, but when you're debating, I don't know, I thought this was obvious. If you make a point, you have to be able to give justification or evidence for it. Dude, you said that you're going to be the next big political commentator on the right. You said that you're going to fill the shoes of Charlie Kirk. You will never fill the shoes of shit if you can't even give an argument for the points.
You're weird.
So then once again, I am going to ask, since you said Donald Trump ended a conflict in Rwanda, just give me evidence. Just give me an explanation. What conflict did he end in Rwanda?
Weird. First
what
off,
conflict existed in Rwanda and how did he end it?
No. Listen, I didn't say I was going to be the next big thing. Charlie Kirk was worth 1 billion people. I will never be on the level of Charlie Kirk. He was better than me
At least you know that,
every
buddy.
single way. Yeah, I'm telling you. Listen, you need to take a deep breath, and you need to hold on.
You need to give evidence that Donald Trump ended a conflict in Rwanda.
Hey, watch this. Look.
Okay, I'll happily breathe after you tell me what conflict he ended in Rwanda. Dude, this is pitiful for you. This is fucking embarrassing.
Well, you look embarrassing. You look.
The only thing embarrassing here is you because you made a point that you can't give any evidence for. This is so embarrassing. We're watching the worst. We are watching the worst crash out of this guy's life. So how about this? Go ahead.
I don't think I'm crashing out. I think I'm being really sweet to you right now. I'm emulating Charlie Kirk and how he would be treating you. That's the only reason I'm being nice. You, on the other hand, young man, are being very vile, demonic, disgusting. But that's to be expected. I actually did think better of you, but you've exposed yourself in these 50 minutes we've been talking, my friend. I don't want to lie to you. But here, first off, I want to say, I never said I was going to be the next Charlie Kirk. He's way better than me. I never said I was going to be the next big thing on the right. There's a lot of people better than me. I said I'm in it until Jesus takes me, and you will see me a lot. But that's only if you come to my lobby. I'm not going to come here and let you keep muting me again and being this silly little girl that you are. Now, your point is this. If somebody doesn't know every little thing about everything, they're an idiot or something like that. There's a lot of stuff. Look at you typing away right now to look something up. You don't even know what you're talking about. You're looking it up right now. So go ahead, look it up. But everybody listening, don't listen to him. You're allowed to not know everything, right? If you don't know something, that's okay. I actually do know the conflicts, right? But if you don't know something, that's okay. You're allowed not to know everything, which is called being a human being. I don't know why this weirdo is so aggressive about things like that and his side are like that.
Okay, so name the conflict in Rwanda.
Well, now that you just Googled it, why don't you enlighten everybody?
Nope, because you made the point.
Yeah, but you just Googled it.
No,
you didn't know it. You
actually
just Googled it.
typing this.
No, you just Googled it. You're not lying to me.
Okay, you made the argument, sir. You have to give the evidence.
You said name the conflicts.
Yeah.
I told you 2 of the conflicts.
So what conflict did he end in Rwanda?
Dean, I'll sit here all day, buddy. You're not in control.
Okay, so you're just not going to give an argument for your point, so you lose.
Not true.
Okay, so then
My point still stands.
Then what conflict did he end in Rwanda?
Do you honestly think screaming and muting represented your side well, Dean? Do you honestly believe that?
I mean, I don't know. Can you name the conflict? That
Why
ended in
do you
Rwanda?
support the 2-year-olds that are unalived by illegal immigrants and want to vote for Kamala Harris that did nothing but allow that to happen?
Yeah, I'll answer your
Why
question.
do you support an administration whose economy was 4 times worse than Donald Trump's?
Yeah, that's what we.
Why do you support that?
I'll answer your question.
Why do
after
you support the neocons, right?
Yeah.
And not support the president of peace? I'm just asking you.
Yeah. So once you could name
Donald,
this
back to, by
conflict
the
in
way,
Rwanda, I'll,
he didn't
answer
let me
your
talk
question.
about it earlier because he wanted to pivot. I want to bring it back up to E. Jean Carroll. They rewrote the law for that to even happen.
Yeah.
Why didn't she accuse him 25 years ago when it happened? Why did she laugh when she was talking about it?
Oh my God.
Why did she brag that she was going shopping after, young man
Oh my
or
God.
lady? I don't want to assume.
Can you? Can you?
What
name
are your
the-
pronouns? I don't want to lie to you.
Can you name the conflict that he ended in Rwanda?
I can.
And do it.
Why? You do it.
No, you made the point. That's how debates work. Like, let me just describe this real quick without interruption.
Well, no, you can't say that's how debate works. But you kept muting me, shouting slurs, getting all aggressive like you're some kind of tough guy, saying insults when I was being
Yeah.
very nice to you, and I'm still being really nice to you, young man. I'm practically your dad at this point. So
Okay.
what do you mean that's how debates work?
I'll tell you. So when you're having a debate, right, typically you provide an argument for what you believe in, right, which would include like evidence and reason. And you provided the argument that Donald Trump is a good president because he's ended 7 conflicts. One of these quote unquote conflicts would be one in Rwanda. So I'm asking you for your evidence and reason to substantiate said belief. So please name the conflict and describe it that he ended in
Well,
Rwanda.
to that point, Dean, you didn't let me back up all my other claims earlier. So why do you care so much about this one and not my other ones?
We'll go through them all. Let's start with this one.
Well, maybe we should go in order of what we were talking about.
No, because that'd be pivot.
Well, no, one would argue for us to even get here away from my other ones were pivoted, but they weren't pivoted.
Okay.
They were you muting
So
me and then
I'm-
saying 17
So
other
I'm
things.
going to be honest. By the time, right, this clock hits 2 minutes and 30 seconds, if you haven't told us about the conflict in Rwanda.
By the way,
we're all
while I
gonna
have you
consider
here,
lose this
you
debate.
cried about Charlie Kirk and then tried to act like we need to take the pew-pews away. Don't you ever disrespect him again like that.
Okay. Can you name the conflict that he
You're
ended in
sick.
Rwanda?
Hey, you're sick, kid. Just so
You're-
you
why
know.
are you
Don't you
cra-
ever disrespect
Why
me.
are you
Just so
crashing
being
out
nice.
so hard?
Listen, buddy, I have 40 minutes of you
Listen,
crashing
dude.
out. Don't try and gaslight.
But, dude,
you could
dude,
maybe listen.
dude.
You could make this a little clip, but I have my clips too.
My friend,
I have my familiar.
all that I'm asking you to do is to name the conflict that you said he ended in Rwanda. Why are you getting so
I already
emotional?
did. No, I already did mention it. Did you not hear me when I said it?
You didn't describe it at all.
I said it. No, I did. I said
Okay.
it a few minutes ago.
So do it again.
Well, I already did it. That seemed redundant.
Okay, you didn't.
No, I did.
Okay, no, nobody heard you. And maybe you're on mute.
Well, maybe it's because you're so flustered. I mean, earlier you misheard me as well. Remember when I was talking about Mar-a-Lago and them planting evidence? And
So,
you thought I was talking about the
what precisely
Maybe it's a you
did
thing.
what precisely did you say earlier to describe the conflict?
I said that he picked up the phone to call the prime minister of Thailand and said, I'm going to not reduce tariffs. Listen, I'm talking about Cambodia and Thailand because that came before this, right? And you're asking me about stuff, so I'm educating you. So he picked up the phone.
So
what's up, young lady? I'll allow you to speak.
So the
Ready,
question,
go ahead and speak.
So the question
Good girl.
isn't how much time will it take him to describe the conflict in Rwanda? Sorry, in Thailand. The question is rather how much time will it take him to describe the conflict in Rwanda?
Yeah, so anyways, he picked up the phone, he called the prime minister of Thailand and said,
"Hey sir,
I am
Thailand's
not going
Rwanda."
to I know, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about my first point.
Okay, so then you're not answering the question on the screen. How much
No, I
time?
already answered.
Oh,
I already answered that.
So then what was the specific answer?
Excuse me. I already answered it.
So what was the answer?
Oh, you didn't hear it?
Obviously not. So what was the answer?
Oh. Well, you might want to get your ears checked out or maybe take a deep breath, my friend.
Okay, I'll make sure to do both of those things after you name the conflict in Rwanda, if you describe it for us.
Yeah, I already did.
Okay, I don't think that you did. Prove me wrong by telling me what you said.
I don't want to prove you wrong. I already proved you wrong on a lot of stuff.
So you can see.
I don't want to do that to you.
Then you can see that you didn't name the conflict in Rwanda.
No, I 100% triple down on. I said it already.
Okay,
You
so
just were all flustered and emotional.
So what did you say?
About what?
About the conflict in Rwanda.
I said that Trump helped stop it.
How so?
He invited I believe, so first off, it's 6 different conflicts, or maybe 7 different conflicts.
Well, remember, we're just talking about this one.
Yes, but there's so many of them, right? In politics, there's a lot of stuff, right?
Can you just be honest with us? You don't know anything about Rwanda.
No, that's not true.
Oh, then prove me wrong.
I already did.
No, you didn't.
I really like that you changed your tone when I called you out on it, by the way.
Okay.
I really appreciate that.
So could you tell us anything
good,
about...
sweet little angel of you, my friend.
Could you tell us
Way
anything...
to learn your place, brother.
Could you just admit that you know nothing about the conflict?
Can you admit you know nothing about it without Googling it like you did?
No, because I don't know any... Because I do know things about it.
Okay.
Can I educate you?
I mean, it's your world. You can say whatever you want. I already answered you.
Okay, so let's start off with this. Do you even know who this quote-unquote conflict was with?
I did know, but again, there's a lot of information.
So you don't know.
Being sometimes, no, listen, I did know. Like, listen.
Wait, but you know right now.
In this exact moment, I can't remember who the other country was.
Okay, so it was DR Congo, the Democratic Republic of the Congo. What was Rwanda doing in Congo?
Was that the one that he invited them both to the White House to have the meeting? Was that the one? Yeah, I think that's what it was, right?
So
right,
what
Dean?
was
right?
Rwanda doing in the Congo?
Wait, was that the one where he invited them both to the Oval Office?
I'm not sure. So what was and is Rwanda doing in the Congo?
Okay.
What were they doing? What are they doing?
They were fighting.
No, they were genociding.
Someone called that fighting.
No. So genocide isn't a fight, because like the people in the Congo.
And while I have you here, I gotta say it again one more time.
So
don't you?
I want to educate you. So
don't you ever disrespect Charlie again like that. Don't you ever disrespect him again.
Hey, sir, can I educate you?
I'm glad you switched your tone. Good man.
I'm trying to educate you here. So Rwanda was genociding the Congo, and to further this genocide, they had like their own troops go into Congo to kill the innocent Congolese, but they also had like M23 rebel insurgents, right? That they funded.
By the way, I was right. It was the conflict he had them at the Oval Office. I was right. I was right.
Are you?
I was right. I educated you.
Why are you interrupting me?
Well, buddy, this is you. For 40 minutes, you screamed and muted, right? And you think you're going to clip this up, but I'm going to do the same thing and show the full video. So you're actually making yourself look like fake news. Because now you're calmer.
We got a friend joining us. Hey, Parker, this guy's like completely outrageous. Welcome in.
Yeah, I can see this guy's clearly outrageous. He's crashing out on the stream.
Yeah, I have like no clue like what this guy's problem is.
Parker, you should have... you should have seen Dean earlier.
Yo, brother. Victoria, thank you so much for the $25 over at Venmo.
You should have seen him earlier.
One second, sir. I'm thinking my donors. I'm thinking
I know he's your best bud.
Sir, I'm thinking my donors.
You should have seen him earlier.
Could you help me by muting him while I think my donors? Victoria, thank you so much for the $25 over at Venmo. We have quite a few to catch up on. Victoria with the $25 says, caller kept hammering you for evidence, but couldn't even provide a single source. This guy's the worst type of MAGA. They call everything fake news, then they spew out the most unhinged conspiracy theories. Yeah, this guy's a DUMBASS that doesn't know shit. He's over here claiming that Donald Trump ended a conflict, but then he knows nothing about this quote-unquote conflict that in all reality is a genocide. 1 second, I'm still thanking my donors. Kyrie, that is Kyrie, thank you so much for the $20 over on Venmo, who says, this level of line deflection, pivoting, and gaslighting is alarming, and I hope he goes to therapy before he ever engages romantically with a woman. Yo, fucking speak, Kyrie. You're absolutely on par. Show some love to Kyrie and Victoria. Vivian, thank you so much for the $20 on Venmo, who says, Cambodia and Thailand war did not end yet. It is escalated. Well, thank you for letting us know, Vivian. Show some love to Vivian down below for the $20. Andrew with the $10 who says, does this guy really support his side? Sounds like he's grifting off Charlie Kirk's death. Yeah, no, I mean, well, obviously he doesn't support anything on the right because he doesn't know anything about the right. Like, he doesn't even know like his own arguments. Like, he didn't even know that Rwanda was genociding Dr. Congo. I appreciate you for the $10, Andrew. Karina, thank you for the $1. Libby, thank you so much for the $10 on Venmo, who says, for tutoring this caller and how debate works. Don't worry, I like to educate the uneducated. I'll help this, this poor little man child out. And then Tass with the $5, I appreciate you. Heather, thank you so much for the $20 over on Venmo, who says, what I'll never do is state something like it's truth without having facts to back it up. Guess clearly it's just lying then deflecting. Fuck Donald Trump. Oh yeah, this guy doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. He embarrassed himself in front of over 27,000 people live because I'm thanking my donors, buddy. Just hold on. It'll be okay. Be patient. It's like Pinky. Thank you for the $20, Heather. Aaron, thank you for the $10. I really appreciate you for the love. Tyler, thank you for the $5. Ryan, thank you for the $5. Michelle with the $8. Allison with the $5. Shannon with the $15 who says, thank you for representing us well. Thank you for the love, Shannon. Thank you you so much. I know that this caller's wrong. Tass, thank you for the $10 who says, wow, you sound really jealous. I suggest that you calm down and allow me to finish thanking my donors. Tass with the $10 who says you're talking to a tier 10 clout chaser. Yeah, he's a big clout chaser. Thank you so much. And Shasta, thank you for the $50 over on Venmo. Thank you so much, Shasta, who says, get him, Dean. You're absolutely destroying this guest, and you have unrivaled debate skills. Thank you, Shasta. Show some love to Shasta down below for the $50. Rami, thank you for the $25 who says, OMG guest, please stop whining, put your big boy pants on and make an actual point. Rami, he can't make a point. He doesn't know anything. That's why he knew nothing about DR Congo and Rwanda. He has the brain of a child. Thank you for the $25, Rami. Ryan, thank you so much for the $5 who says, excuse me, pathetic little baby guest boy. I know, he's so pathetic. Libby, thank you for the $20. Thank you so much for the love. Libby with the $20 says, honest political commentators and debaters tend to be passionate. I find it inspiring. Thank you, Libby. I love you. Thank you so much for the $20. Mason, thank you for the $30. Thank you so much, Mason. Show some love to Mason down below. Joy, thank you for the $10. Ramoni, thank you so much for the $30. Sorry, that is Kimoni. That is spelled Kymoni. Kimoni with the $30 says, I've been watching you every day for months now, and I'm so thankful for everything that you do. Love you so much. Love you too, Kimoni. Emma, thank you for the $10. Thank you so much. Who says, my neck hurts from the whiplash I'm experiencing from this dude pivoting. He's pathetic. Michelle, thank you for the $20. Thank you so much for the love, Michelle. Andrew with the $10. Thank you, Michelle and Andrew. Taylor with the $30. Who says, correct me if I'm wrong, but was it not an alt-right psycho that took out Charlie? Maybe. Thank you for the $30 to Taylor. Michelle with the $20. And Matthew with the $20 who says, this guy sounds absolutely abysmal, super pathetic, so pathetic. Thank you for reaffirming what we all know. Matthew with the $20. Bonnie, thank you for the 10. Elizabeth, thank you so much for the $50 over on Venmo for quote unquote fighting for the truth. Show some love to Elizabeth in that comment section for for the $50. Thank you, Elizabeth. And Elena with the $50 too. And Amanda with the $50. Elena with the $50 says, in solidarity, keep fighting. Thank you so much, Elena. Amanda with the $50 says, the brainwashed guest thinks that men are more logic than women and women are more emotional. She's clearly never ranked a Marvel Rivals game now. Thank you for the love. And Victoria, oh my God. Thank you for the $75 over on Venmo. Let's fucking go, Victoria. Show some love to Victoria for the $75 in that chat. Thank you so much. 1 second, I'm still thanking my donors. Victoria with a $75 says, as somebody who's lost most of their family to Maga, your lives genuinely keep me sane. Victoria, I don't know how you're still doing because this donation was an hour ago. This guest is likely driving you insane because of how pathetic he is. Thank you for the $75 to Victoria. Shasta, thank you so much for the $20. Lacey, thank you so much for the $20. And Leah, thank you so much for the $15. Wow, we are all caught up over like an hour of this donation. Dean. 1 second, I'm still thanking my donors, sir. Thank you all so very much. One second. He's crashing. He's crashing out because of how jealous he is of the donations. 1 second. Alicia, thank you for the $33 on PayPal. Show some love to Alicia for the $33. She says, please explain to the chat that this man is the definition of red-pilled. He's the definition of dumb-pilled. Appreciate you for the $33, Alicia. Elise, thank you for the 10. Cami, thank you for the 15, who says, I know a narcissist when I see one. Dude, I can know that this guy's a narcissist if I had my eyes closed and my ears plugged. Oh my God, he's radiating the vibes. Total loser. Thank you for the $15, Cami. And Vesna with the $50. Oh my God. Thank you, Vesna. Let's get 500 Vesna W's, who says, this guy's ruining my Friday night. So embarrassing for him. This is so embarrassing for him and his fucking bloodline. The way that he's acting on this live right now is literally going to curse his grandchildren to a lifetime of embarrassment and public scrutiny.
That's
because
weird.
Of how terrible
Look
he is.
how vile
and then
you are.
Danielle, thank you for the $20. I'm still thanking my donors. He says, Rwanda, you got him running, Dean. He's a track star. We know we got him running. Thank you so much for the $20, Danielle. Show some love to Danielle. Sean with the $20. Thank you so much for the love, Sean. Cece with the $5. Laura with the $20, who says that you're doing such a great job. Thank you, Laura. McKenna with the $15, who says this guy thinks he's so macho by calling you young lady and little girl. Well, but likely the reason why he's calling me little girl is because he likes talking to little girls. Thank you for the $15, McKenna. Robert, thank you so much for the $50 over on Venmo. Let's go, Robert. Robert with a $50 says, 70-year-old Robert here, you're on fire, and I want to let you know that my 83-year-old sister is a Dean head too. Robert, All the love in the world to you. All the love to your sister. Shout out to you guys. Holy fuck. Hannah with a 10. Sylvia with a 5. Stephanie with a 5. Jacob with a 5. Anna with a $10 who says, Dean, our great leader. Thank you so much. And Kathy and Jay with $100 each. Let's get 1,000 Kathy W's, 1,000 JW's. What is going on? Jay says, I just listened to some of those vile, depraved death wish voicemails ever sent to Democrats. I can't imagine the mindset of publicly wishing death upon others. I think that we're going to need to listen to those on stream, Jay. I heard about those like an hour ago. Thank you so much for the $100, Jay. One second, I'm still thanking my donors. Kathy with $100 says, you bring me so much joy. I love what you do. Oh, Kathy, I love you too. Thank you so much for the $100. Amy with a $25 who says, how can MAGA lose their minds over using Kirk's own words, but then defending Donald Trump on hanging congressmen? Keep cooking. It is total hypocrisy. They don't care about execution, or they would care about Donald Trump's threat of execution for those Democrats. Thank you for the $25, Amy. Macy with a $5. Melody with a $30 who says, I love your debates. I also hope that you have a magical day today and tomorrow. Thank you so much, Melody. Another Dean with a $5 who says, Charlie who? I don't know. Jessica with a $5. Christian with a $5. Anna with a $10. Scarlett with a $20. Thank you so much, Scarlett. Ansgar with a 10. Sean with a 10. Crystal with a 5. Alan, that is AOI. And thank you so much for the $20 over on PayPal to piss this guest off. Thank you so much, Alan. Dude, let's fucking go, you guys. I'm like, this is crazy. Buddy. I've been going for like 5 minutes. You motherfuckers are popping off. Gizmo, thank you for the 10 years who says caller's fake news, a terrible person with bad ratings. Quiet, Piggy. Yeah, this Piggy needs to quiet. Yo, Vampire, thank you for the $20 who says, thanks for keeping the fight for education from somebody whose family has been irreputably split by MAGA toxicity. The MAGA toxicity that we all see radiating off of this guest right now. Thank you so much. You're absolutely right, Vampire. Show some love to Vampire in that chat, and show some love to Gizmo once again for another 10 euros. Thank you so much for the love, Gizmo. You are fucking awesome. Then also over on Super Chat, I would really like to thank Alice for the $50. Thank you so much for the love, Alice. I'm so sorry that I didn't see that earlier. Please show some love to Alice now for the $50. And Attack with $100. Oh my God. On YouTube Super Chat, who says Charlie Kirk was a racist. Trump is a dictator. The fact this bozo can't see that is highly concerning. Well, it doesn't seem like he could see anything. He doesn't have a brain. He doesn't think. Thank you so much for the $100, Pony. You're fucking crazy. And by the way, they just keep on rolling in. I literally don't even know what to say to you guys. Literally, thank you so much for the love. Alone. Okay, I'm just gonna have to go over these like pretty quickly because you guys are like fucking killing it right now. Jenna, thank you so much for the $5 over at Venmo. Anthony with the $6 and the 66 cents because he said I was demonic. Odessa with the $10 who says current guest is like 45 and can't stop whining. He's whining like a toddler. Callie with the $10 who says long time listener and first time donating. This may have been the most insufferable guest I've ever heard on your live. Dude, if this is a way that he's treating some random guy on the internet, imagine how he treats any like woman in his life ever. Thank you for the $10, Callie. Well, he doesn't have any women in his life, so maybe those a suggestion reliant on a false premise. Terry with a $15. Thank you so much for the love, Terry. Show some love to Terry. Maggie with a 5. Claire with a 1. Tass with a 5. Danielle with a 1. Nina with 5. Jonathan with a 5. Rian with a $10 same donation. Thank you so much for the love, Rian. Catherine with a $33 on Venmo. Show some love to Catherine who says he's a boring misogynist with his insults. Oh, he's terrible. Mark with the $10 who says tell this guy to come back later when he has factual info and better skills. Yeah, he sucks right now. He's never going to get better. He's MAGA. Jennifer with the $10 who says you make the left proud. You have him spinning out. He is crashing out because of how hard I've destroyed him. Jordan with the $20 who says this guy's obnoxious. Love the Dean and Parker combo. Y'all are my favorite. Thank you so much for the love, Jordan. Tyler with the $10. Thank you so much, Tyler. Kim with the 5. Jocelyn with the 5. Selena with the $20 who says this guy's a bag of bricks. It just keeps on going. Lauren with the $25 says thank you, Dean and Parker, for everything that you do. MAGA baby, BITCH boy can't make one coherent argument, but also fuck Steve. Thank you, Lauren. And Jordan, thank you for the $80 over on Venmo. He says I appreciate all that you do. Show some love to Jordan. It just keeps on going. Brianna with a 5. Kayla with a 5. Allison with a 5. Michelle with a 10 who says love you. Kanisha with a $5. Thank you so much, Kanisha. Julia with a $20 who says you're on fire. Kirsten with a $10. Kylie with the 11. Heidi with the $30 who says dealing with this major red flag for women. Spoof with a 5. Abby with a 1. Sarah with a 5. ME with $100 on Venmo. What the fuck? Who says may no woman ever meet this man and this is why we choose the mayor. Thank you, Dean, for doing so much with this knowledge, thoughtfulness, and impact. Oh my God, thank you for the $100 in me. Kyler with the $10. Thank you so much. Elijah with a 5. Kylie with a 1. Lovey with a 1. Kanisha, thank you so much for the $5. Michelle with a 10. Once again, thank you all so much for the love. It's just crazy because We're not even done. Ravenous, thank you for the $20. Who says, I think this equals a penny for every time a sad loser face has said fake news. Dylan with the 5, Matt with the 10, Phoebe, thank you so much for the $10. Who says, I'm so glad I found you. April, April, thank you so much for the $5. Dean with another $5 who says, Charlie who. Fastio with the $10 who says, this guy's lost and he's brainwashed. Timothy, thank you for the $15. Hey, this guy's getting 2 points. Thank you so much, Timothy. Callie, thank you so much for the $53 on PayPal who says, do you think he has a pixie cut or a receding hairline? Well, receding hairline would be my guess. And we are all cut up. Wow.
Dean, that's fucking crazy. What just happened, bro? I just muted this guy probably 100 times. And by the way, thank you so much, Pam, for the $20, and Rev Carla, thank you for the $100. Thank you so much.
Dude admits to muting. He says it out loud that he mutes. Wait, listen, you two need to chillax. Like, Parker, you just got here, buddy. Listen, I'm not crashing out. I'm being chill right now. I have it filmed of Dean crashing out. So I know as your buddy, you're never going to say that, but it's all recorded. You can fake giggle all you want, buddy, but
Dude,
I've been very nice to you, and I'm still gonna be.
W donors in the chat. Seriously, thank you guys so much. And if there's anybody that I missed,
and Parker, it's not a flex to mute people. It's not a strong side to your argument that you have to mute. Conversation is supposed to be two people talking.
Hey, dude, I was muting you because he was thanking donors, and you were talking over him thanking donors. Okay. Do you realize that's a distinction between that and like me muting you in a conversation while you're trying to speak and get your point out? Yeah. Do you understand there's a distinction?
I'm sorry. You're right. Let me clarify. I'm referring to when he muted me prior to you joining, and he muted me 1,000 times while we were conversating. My bad. I should have clarified that. My bad.
Well, I wasn't here yet, so I didn't even know that
that's
happened.
my bad. Yeah, that's my bad. That's what I'm referring to is my
sweet
sweet little angel Dean over here who only changed his tone when he was called out on it and realized he was being heinous. And I appreciate you for switching it up, Dean. That was
Elizabeth, thank you for the $5. Zach, thank you for the $20 who says, Grifter tried to get clips from you but got cooked. Thank you for the $20, Zach. Jojo with the 10. Thank you so much. Reagan with a 1 and Kaylee with a $5. Thank you fucking fuck. Thank you so much. Landon with a $10 up front PayPal. Thank you so much, Landon. Jasmine with the 5 said fuck the left out. Natalie with a $10 said this guy's so frustrated. Thank you for the $10, Natalie.
Dean, dude, you leave Charlie alone. Parker,
shut up. Matt, thank you for the $10.
Leave him alone.
That Charlie Kirk would be embarrassed by this guy. Phoebe with a $10. Thank you so much, Phoebe and Dylan with the 5.
Be careful. God is always watching. Even if you don't believe in him, God is real.
Wait, what do you mean by he's being demonic? What does that mean?
Well, making fun of
Leave Charlie alone. Leave him alone.
Making fun of him sick. You're sick.
What did he say?
What did I say?
He read out comments that were heinous, making fun of Charlie.
What did they say that were heinous?
He said quite a few. It's recorded right there. You were there. I'm not going to even repeat
what did I say?
All I heard was him just asking who Charlie was.
That's a little bit heinous, is it not? You clearly know who we're talking about. Yeah, listen, I'm not going to sit here and debate you about you being demonic.
I don't know how he's. You understand that there are multiple different Charlies, right? Like he's just asking who.
No. You know exactly who we're talking about. You can
Dude, what are you talking? You understand? You understand that there are multiple different Charlies in the world, right?
And you understand that we all know that you know which Charlie we're talking about, right?
Well, in that context, we don't because it was a random comment.
But you actually do know.
What? What are you talking about? It was a random comment.
Leave Charlie alone. Leave him alone.
Leave him alone. He was a good man. He was an innocent, kind man. What, you think laughing about? Dean, honestly, the man was taken from his children and this world and did not deserve that, and you're laughing about it. You're sick.
I agree, right? Like public executions.
You really don't. Based on what you just did.
Let me speak. Let me speak for more than 3 words. You're
sure. You haven't been able to speak at all. Go ahead.
I agree that murder is wrong. However, the murder of Charlie Kirk does not change the fact that Charlie Kirk was racist. The wrongful murder of Charlie Kirk does not change the fact that Charlie Kirk was a cog in a system of the perpetuation of modern day fascism. The wrongful murder of Charlie Kirk didn't change the fact that Charlie Kirk perpetuated like many incredibly estranged and morally abrasive virtues and sought to indoctrinate like the youth of this country into a system of beliefs which are harmful and damaging to minority communities, harmful and damaging to black individuals, harmful and damaging to women and girls, harmful and damaging to low-income Americans, and harmful and damaging to the world as a whole.
All right, this is going to be tough for you, but just try. I believe in you both. Either one of you. Give one bullet point that backs up that Charlie Kirk was racist. One bullet point so we can have a conversation about it.
Do you want to go first, Parker?
Yeah. I mean, well, when going onto a plane, he said that if there was a black pilot that was literally piloting his plane, that he would question whether or not they were qualified to even literally be the pilot of the plane. just off the basis of them being black.
Yeah, talking about DEI, because you already know the context of that was DEI. That's not a racist thing to say, to have a grievance with DEI or affirmative action or any of those.
It is to see someone who's black and to assume that they're unqualified. DEI doesn't mean unqualified positions get into those positions. It means that it extends hold up. Diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility extends how many people are going to be able to get access to these particular systems that have historically not been able to get access to it. It doesn't mean people who are unqualified are getting to these positions. It means that people who are qualified that have been historically not allowed into these positions because of different systems that exist are now allowed to get into positions like that, not off the basis of the fact that they're unqualified, but off the fact that they are qualified and that they should be allowed into those positions.
How does DEI help people?
It helps people specifically who are qualified or who are in underrepresented communities get into positions of power or into different types of job opportunities that they were not allowed in historically speaking because of different types of systems that have prevented them and their ancestors from getting into those positions of power.
What about it?
Can I show you guys a restriction that I just got?
Quick, hold on. No, Parker, let me have for 1 second up here. Let a conversation ensue, please. Just for 1 second. Parker, hold on, real quick. Parker,
throw him on mute. Throw him on mute. Look at this restriction that I just got from the guest. Look at this shit.
God forbid you have a combo. Parker, what you just said is very rebuttable. Let's see if I get to rebut you. I'm still trying to make a point. What you said is not true.
Pipe down, bro.
But let's
pipe down. Just pipe down.
So anyway, I'll keep going. You just mute me because you're so good at it. Parker, what I'm trying to get you to admit is DEI, right, allows race to be a factor in hiring process, right? And that's not racist of us to have a grievance with that.
Well, anyways, so he just got a restriction that prevented the push out of the live for quote unquote misinformation causing moderate harm. So we got to kick him. I was trying to show you guys
that happened. That happened earlier. That when someone said the thing about Biden,
dude.
But what he said was just not true, though. It extends people getting access to these particular types of fields. That's good. It is racist for him to care about that and wanting to restrict communities from getting access to those particular types of jobs, specialties, and positions of power.
Charlie Kirk also called black people prowling blacks. So, yeah. Trevor, hello. Do you support Trump?
I don't fault you because you're so young, Dean, but leave Britney alone! Leave Britney alone!
What?
Leave Britney alone!
Is this like a meme that I'm not in the loop on?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.